Go. Here we go. What's up, happy people? What's up? How you guys doing today? It's the boy John Lee from 1983. And of course, I got my road dog Poppy with me. What's up, Poppy? The ladies left the house and we in the building. Um, if you guys didn't know, earlier this week I lost my grandmother. I got the information, so if you notice the Toledo gears on me, I'm dripping in Toledo because I'm getting ready to go home. Getting ready to pay my respects, see my kin folks, and I can't wait. And as I told you guys, every broadcast, I'm going to put effort. I'm going to put that work in. I'm going to do what I got to do, let you guys know I'm serious about this. And I love this. You know what I'm saying? I might not have been a radio boy, but if you knew my mother, and if you know my mother, then you know me. I grew up like a juice baby. So radio was always something I wanted to do. I was just shy about it. So I said about a month ago when my homeboy hit me up and was like, yo, can we start doing this? I was like, yo, I'm gonna do what I can do and make it, I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. So long story short, that's the little pitch. And before we get into today's broadcast, you know what I gotta do. I'm like Strodes, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? CJ Strodes for the Texas, Houston, Texas. All glory to God. Jesus Christ, I thank you at all times. I promise you guys, try not to use any profanity whatsoever. Like my Steve Harvey. Hey, I ain't tripping, but he ain't through with me yet. But before I do anything, I want to jump into this hot topic because I just learned how to do it. I seen like an hour ago, I got a notification, um, and it was a live broadcast of the Hungry Black Man. And if anybody knows anything about the Hungry Black Man in my city, the Hungry Black Man was, frequently in Detroit. From my understanding, he's from Detroit, and he went down to Toledo. He spoke about Rubies and J Mays, and from what I heard, like the city, responded to him. But I'm not gonna lie. How do I make live broadcast videos, but I never watch people's live? That's being fake. So I was like, you know what? I got something for myself. So guess what we're doing today? We are going to watch his latest broadcast because I love the title of it. Toledo drama, but it's still going to be amazing. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn into this, and I want you guys to check me out as I do this live broadcast. And if you guys do follow me on TikTok, thank you. Make sure you share. What's up, TikTok? It's John Lee from 1983 is going on the screen. But let me go ahead and get rid of that QR code. I'm going to say goodbye to that QR code right now. And this delay in my ear is driving me crazy, but I want to make sure I hear myself. So here we go. Let's get into this live broadcast. Boom. Did it? Oh, did I do it right? Let me see. Yeah, I did. I'm clicking the screen right now. Let me see. I had this live broadcast. Look, when you have everything set up, then all of a sudden something happens. You're like, what the Jesus? Hold on, let me go here. 1 second, y'all. I had it as my third screen, and then all of a sudden it's like boom. Okay, so don't worry about it. Hey, I'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, so I'm back. We back in the building. Um, hopefully you can hear me. I'm listening to myself in my live broadcast. So I want to play this video because I want to see what my gentleman's talking about. So let's listen. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear the audio. Hey. Let me get to it. Let me say this right. Please respect what I'm doing. Please respect what I'm doing. Let's not jump on and try to FaceTime voice call me or anything right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to do a live broadcast that's messing up the whole vibe. Okay? So respect it because obviously I don't know how to stop it right now. But let's get back into this broadcast. So I'm gonna pause right there. So we not even in like a minute and 46 seconds in the video, and my guy's like, "This is the most I heard of Toledo." Now, remind you, Toledo is nothing but like 42 miles south of the city, right? That's how close Toledo and Detroit is. And like a minute and 46 seconds, he's getting chuckles because we're gonna find out why. But obviously, it's like, let me just shut up and let's just keep on listening. Hey, and I want to say this. I do apologize because for me to do a reaction video, I want to share the audio with you. And let me just take the headphones out because like that echo is like blaring in my ears. But what I'm hearing thus far, I think what he's doing is a blessing, right? Because he's taking his time, he's taking his energy, he's taking his resources, and obviously, if you've been looking at the Hungry Man's like Facebook as of lately, he's doing a lot of putting emphasis on it. He might have came down there and said something that might have rubbed somebody wrong, but call the spade a spade. Um, I'm 83. I grew up in Toledo. I didn't leave Toledo to like my early 30s. And Toledo to Florida is a whole different climate. Like where I'm from, I really believe in the crab and the barrel mentality. Like black people pull each other down, and then the few black people who are doing it and getting it, um, they just got it and they get love. Like I could sit and say, my homegirl Brittany, she came out with her bags clothing line. The city loves it. You know, I've been buying some of her merch whenever I come in town, as often as possible. It's kind of transcended DB. I got the Midwest Kid shoes. I got I even got stuff from DJ Bugatti. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of mud made shirts, the Dennis Hopkins, the ZZ shirt. And excuse me, I mispronounced her name. Um, but it's for real, for real. And this gentleman came to Toledo, and not only did he ruffle feathers publicly, but he came back and made good. And for the last few weeks, I've been seeing this brother work and promote Toledo. And even this week with like, hey, tag a business, and he's making a directory for the city. So I'm like, I'm like, wow, like I'm really vibing on what he's doing. I've been leaving comments on some of his posts like, "Hey, I wish I was in town. I would love to show you around, show you Toledo." But from what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing the snippets, like this man has been transparent. I seen him one day talk about like, "Hey, lemon wedges were in a plastic container." And he's like, "That's not how they do it at the restaurant." And I was like, "That's a classy move. I can respect that." Like he's calling a spade for a spade thus far from what I've seen. And I'm not here to judge him because the one thing he's doing, he's seen a need and he acting on the need and he's moving forward with what he said. Like this man just said, what we're talking about 5 minutes and 35 seconds into his broadcast. He's saying, look, man, Toledo, I'm almost done with the directory. Like you said, Toledo's like 300,000 people inside the directory. Not directory, but in the city, but like the metropolitan, like 600. And like we said, man, be all the way in 100. It's like baby Detroit. And I'm from there. And I'm from there. Here, get some of that. So, what I got on my post note so far, he said this is the most he's heard about Toledo. Toledo is definitely ready for a change because it's a whole new generation. Like I grew up on Ants on Harley Street and all that other stuff, and like we always did word of mouth. The last time I was there, Jamaican Spice and J Mays, you could get them on DoorDash, but that's like 2021. Um, and let's continue on. Like I said, I do apologize that you guys cannot hear the audio, and that's my perception based upon the fact that I am watching myself while doing this live broadcast. So I'm trying to pay attention, but hey, at least I learned how to share a screen. So let's continue on. So right now he got me intrigued, right? I'm like, dude, the title says Toledo drama, but it's still going to be amazing. That means that he's experiencing what it's like for like so many Toledoans, including myself, to do business in Toledo and feel discouraged. I want to know why he's discouraged. And like I said, I don't really watch live broadcasts, but like this has been such an intriguing story. I live all the way in the South now. Like for real, for real. So like this has just got me captivated. Like what is going on in the city where he feels his way. So, like he said, he just gave the origin story. What I said beforehand. He had two bad experiences from like two of the blackest restaurants I could think of. Like if I go home, for me being a Toledoan, there's three places I go to. I go to Rudy's Hot Dogs, not Nettie's, but I will get a suicide slushy from Nettie's. I go to Geno's. I will go on Dussel, but we all know you got to go on Central Avenue to get the best Geno's pizza. And then the last joint that I usually get when I'm in the city, and it's like, why is it not clicking? Because I just said Rudy's and Geno's, and there's another spot. It's subjective because my sister and I always refer and say like Toledo's a burger and fries kind of place. Um, Not San Marco, not Evolution. Real talk, Mr. G's. Just because Mr. G's has been a staple in my community since I was a kid. So, like he said, man, he had two bad experiences, but that didn't discourage him from coming back on his own dime, going back and forth from Detroit to Toledo, doing the reviews, editing the videos, sharing them, now building a directory, paying his staff to build a directory. And I'm only at 9 minutes and 28 seconds. And I'm like, I can't wait to hear what this drama going to be because this man's putting his resources after having the conversation and saying, like he told, I guess, Mr. Williams, that's what I thought I heard. And I don't know what Mr. Williams' business was because, like I said, I don't really frequent Toledo. Like, in fact, the only time I come back home now is usually for like a funeral or go check on a couple loved ones. But it's really like an in and out visit. Like I'm in Toledo and I'm out of Toledo. That's just where I'm at. I love my city, obviously. I love the Mud Hens. I love everything about the city, but I moved on from living in the city on a day in, day out basis. Like straight up. So like what who started the drama? Where did this drama come from? I can't wait. 9 minutes and 28 seconds because huh, if a man's come in the city, he's promoting businesses. He's going to establishments. From my understanding, this gentleman pays to do reviews, right? He doesn't just walk in there like I walk in there with my camera, review the food, and put it on Google review. And hey, TikTok pays money for monetization. So does IG and Facebook give you bonus reels. So I'm up there with my phone like, hey man, this food. Hey, what's up? My name is John Lee. Blah blah blah. Like seriously, like I said, we have gone from advertising on social media for businesses to the platforms paying us, which is a beautiful thing to actually generate income from these platforms when we can. And we all scale differently. Like I am small scale. It's really, really small in comparison to this gentleman. This man is getting a lot of attraction. And like to me, this is what you would call like a Toledo celebrity, but he's not from Toledo. But like I said, I got a lot of Toledoans on my news feed, and they're always commenting. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it, and one of my closest homegirls from childhood actually's reactions up there. So like, let's continue on this journey. So because you can't hear the audio play it. So please tell me what's wrong. This gentleman just said it basically at the 9 minute and 52 mark, right? He said Toledo, and I'm gonna say that because I got to take this echo off. This echo is bothering me. Hold up, let me turn that one down. Let me get out of that. So basically, what this gentleman just said out loud to me, and what I just comprehended was facts. He said, "You got to set the bar. If you don't have a bar, then there's nothing to replicate. So you got to make the baseline. And the easiest way to make a baseline is when you're dealing with someone who's had a business, who has established himself. And of all places, Miami. And like you said, my dude came from Detroit. So you telling me Detroit native came to Miami, established a business, established a brand, been on social media for like the last 8 years, and he's coming to Toledo. That is what you call a blessing. That's a blessing. Like I can't get into the specifics, but I know there's a lot of Toledoans who have made it and come back home and made businesses, and these businesses have not been supported. These businesses have been kind of like the gatekeepers keep people away, and they don't thrive. And then like we're left with McDonald's and Bobby Howard, and getting it, how we can do, like going to Golden Corral or going to Hometown Buffet. Like before, a lot of these places were popping online. Like we didn't have many things. Like for real, for real. So let me continue on listening to him. So, like I said, I can't scream it because the audio is not playing. I want to give you the audio, but it's not my audio to share. So I'm just gonna watch it and just keep chiming on it. So it's an ingenious idea. Take a small group of minorities, control the narrative, see how it works, and move forward like that. I still want to hear the drama. I'm at the 10-minute and 21-second mark. Okay, I want to hear the businesses. So he basically just said what I thought: the crab in the barrel mentality. He went to a business. He told the gentleman to sell the business, and they end up discussing doing business with one another. And now people have their feathers in a ruffle. Wow. Hold on. Time out. I got to write that one down. My man just said, I'm going to put it out there for you guys to understand. Toledo is, I ain't going to say that. The Midwest. I want y'all to see this. Toledo is the Midwest Boston. We just got compared to Boston. This man travels the country, and we got compared to perhaps one of the racist cities out there. Racist cities out there, Boston, Massachusetts. My mama come from Cambridge. I went to Massachusetts one time. Actually, no, Pittsfield. Okay, she was from Pittsfield. That's where her people are from. So you telling me my man came out there and he compared Toledo? He said in all 28 states he's been to, he's never experienced this mentality before. Is that a reflection of us or not? I think it's a reflection of the culture of the city, and this is why I agree with him. We are ready for change. Like Toledo is ready for change because the gatekeepers need to move on. Because when you don't triumph over your trauma, you transfer that trauma, and the future generations don't need to be dealing with that madness because at the end of the day, it's not their baggage. Like people want to broaden themselves, and this man's coming from Miami. If you've been in Miami, if you've been South Beach and anywhere South Florida, and a lot of Toledoans go from Detroit Metro to Miami, Florida. The culinary scene is way more. It's a bigger market. Is way more diverse, and this man has made a business and is thriving. Like I can't wait. We have the 11-minute and 4-second mark of this video. Like I said, I want to show you guys this video and watch it with you guys, but I really can't because I can listen to it. You know, let me just continue sharing it with you. I don't even care. I wish the audio would do better. Food problematic, right? Okay. Uh huh. And you know what's funny? I got a lot. I heard about the one thing when he said the Genos, and like I said, I'm a Toledoan. I get Genos every now and then. He said the pizza and the sauce they didn't marry each other or something of that nature. Like I can understand that. Like he went to Geno's on a Lexus, and then first and foremost, is Geno's a black business? Like I know Geno's support a lot of black employees, but I never associated because I thought Geno's was in association with Ann's and Ann's off Central Avenue and McCord. I don't believe Ann was a white lady, but then again, I don't know enough to properly articulate that one and say that one. But I don't think Geno's is a black business at all. I'd be surprised to find out that it is. Like because I have no idea if Toledo and Toledo's Geno's is black. That would be first off, Geno's got several locations. And this man I think this man ran out of black restaurants to go to because it's not like that many. Because anybody that I can recall, and like I said, I ain't lived in Toledo since 2017, and I worked at Chrysler. So when I got time off on the weekends, I was going to Benihana's. I was going to all the black establishments. What was it? Beans and cornbread, the fire. I can't recall the names, but that's where I started getting all my culinary excellence from. Was going to Detroit and go get the real soul food. Now, if I needed, there was a guy that was at TNAP and he would come to the JK side and he would sell us a plate. He would make some fried chicken, give us a side, blah 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 blah. A couple of my coworkers and I, we would order plates from him, but it was like it was by phone. And then Jay Mays, put Chrysler on speed dial, and you can call them up. And that was before DoorDash and Uber and all that other stuff was running plates. They would come and deliver, two, and it was cool with me because like before Jay Mays was doing delivery, I remember when my barber worked on Reynolds Road, I can go to Ruby's and get something. But like we said, it was that or like going to Hometown Buffet. Like we could go to Hometown Buffet and get some macaroni and cheese made from someone who probably is a little suspect and get some honey baked ham or something, or go to Corral and Hometown Buffet. Like Toledo has been on a soul food drought since what was that? Ryan's left us. Remember, it became Fire Mountain before it became whatever it was. But real talk, like if you wanted some real culture food, especially like I remember, I was willing all the time because I had FMLA and I worked at Chrysler. I used to like, oh, I got to get off work, and I'd be like, I got to put in FMLA day, and I would go to Club Evolution. And Club Evolution to me is black, very black, and I would go get my soul food. I would get everything I needed to and get my fixings, get some street tacos, all that good stuff, and enjoy the food immensely. But like, that's how deprived Toledo is of black culture. And like before that, like I said, off like Nebraska and on Harley, you could go and get ants. Oh, the other one was I remember it was Tony Pacos. Like I get a Tony Pacos MOAD dog like every now and then. But let me get back to this video. We only at the 11-minute and 35-second mark. And my video is like 35 minutes. Ah, this is hilarious. What's up, TikTok? Thank you guys for watching. Okay, so it's the 12-minute mark, y'all. It's the 12-minute mark, y'all. And I want y'all to understand, like, for real, for real, for real, for real. I think my dude is being legit as possible right here. He's saying, look, I'm not a person that I don't like onions, so I'm gonna go to a restaurant and knock them for having onions in the dish. That's not being player. That's not being cool. I can respect that move. He's like, I'm not gonna sit there and give my thoughts on the peanut butter sandwich and not like the peanut butter. Like, I get it. So 11 minutes and 56 seconds. Let's see what he's talking about right here. Yo, if you on TikTok, make sure you follow me at Facebook at Skraitup. Skraitup. Okay. So let me catch this real quick. So what it sounds like to me. So, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So he meets Mr. Williams. They talk about doing business, and now Mr. Williams goes to Miami. This is my assumption right now. He brings people to Miami and he calls them and he says he's on his way. So it sounds like his business partner from Toledo is going down to Miami. And I guess they're going to talk. They're going to talk business. Hey, that's what you can do. You can do that. So okay, remember we're at 13 minutes now. Let's see what this is about. I got a phone call right now. I don't know. It's 2:45. I'm gonna ignore it right now. I'm in the live. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's get to this other part to the video. Let's go. First off, if you're gonna make a post, I'm embarrassed for you for making that post. That post, you should work on your critique. I don't even understand the surveillance cameras and everything else. It's 2024. Surveillance cameras and cameras. I got a camera. Everybody got a camera. You need to have a camera. You want to have everything documented. So I don't see the relevance in what he's talking about. I'm sure he's about to say something. My over under, he's going to say something to this individual about this. But look, let me be right back. I need to put you on a 30-second break. Okay, everybody, I am so sorry for that. My daughter called. She's at school and she wanted to remind me of something. So, sorry for that brief intermission. We got that taken care of. Once again, so let's get back into this. Ooh. I told you. I said it. I said it. That's a wise man right there. I've never watched his live broadcast, but I got to heart that right there because like you said, as long as you got that crab in the barrel mentality, or you can't change the city, you can change anything you want about yourself in whatever time period. But that's a mentality thing. And if your mentality is not there, then that's an individual thing. That's not the city because you don't know how many people want to change. So if you're not going to be about the change, why are you commenting on it? You can change the city overnight. Solidarity, baby. We can all come together. We can all do whatever. If we want a black directory and we want someone to establish a baseline and want someone to make links, and so what is not a Toledo in? There's a lot of people coming to Toledo and build Toledo, and they're not born at Toledo Hospital or Flower Hospital or St. V's. They're not born at one of these places like St. Anne's. What does that have to do with anything? I'm dumbfounded to even hear that. You don't have to be from the city, and you can change the city overnight. Obviously, this man, every time he make a post about Toledo, he is getting a lot of reaction. And these reactions, hey man, call a spade a spade. They're positive reactions because people aren't engaging. Hey, let me continue on. Do do do. Back. Yes. Facts. Thank Hey, this can't get any better than what it is, right? My man is literally talking about the crab in the barrel mentality, right? He's sitting there saying you could be limitless. He's trying to free your mind. And people are saying you can't, it took God 6 days to create heaven and earth and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, to make heaven and earth, um, it's going to take a little bit more time than a day, but to change your mentality and say, "Hey, I could be limitless," is crazy. I remember back in the day, one of my mom's constituents, Tim Perkins, had VIP Sports. This black man started, and I had to ask Tim. I remember there was a joint on what was that? Not Door Street. That was what was the intersection Detroit, and it was on Detroit. It was on Detroit Avenue, right? And it was a little bit before you got to Swingfield. And it looked like a Jan's ice cream or ice cream shop. He turned that into Destiny Fashion. Then I remember he opened up that joint, not in Swingfield. He opened it up over there off Bancroft and Monroe Street. Bancroft and what's Bancroft and by the IGA over there by the Manor and a couple other joints. But he opened up a whole storefront with the no limit gear when like there was we were all looking for the H spiders, the no limit gear. And it was like Tim had created this black mecca, like a black man selling this sportswear, and we used to go up in there. And like Tim was cool people. Like for real. I looked up to him like he was cool. Years ago, I seen him and kicked it with him in Vegas, and you know he's still a cool guy. I think, matter of fact, he's back in Africa doing the circus with his kids and whatnot. But Tim to me is a limitless guy. That's like Charlie Chuck. Charlie Chuck hired my mom to be one of his advertisers for the juice. Like he gave her accounts. She would go out there and she would advertise to our community. And our community was like Jack's Manwear on Detroit too, because shout out to Jack's Manwear at the time on Detroit and Burn. A lot of the black community went to Jack's. Um, and the juice really helped establish, a lot of the culture. And the funny thing is, what people don't understand about the juice in the mix in 97.3 is this. The juice is a black owned radio station that started out in Swanton, Ohio, right? And it was like a little building with a little reception, and they moved to Reynolds Road, right? Years after the fact, right? But people always be like, "Oh, you got the mix." They playing black music, but it's not a black radio station. It's not owned by a black man. And I remember Charlie Mack out there with Butter, and like Butter's like on a whole nother wave now with his Afro tech and whatnot. No disrespect, shout out to Butter. He would go out to Rogers and do everything he could do to promote. And a lot of times people would come back and look at him like, oh, he's goofy and all this other stuff. Now he's respected. Now he is looked at for the man that he is. But it's funny how that mentality with people who were doing things, trying to establish a baseline and trying to establish the city, got overlooked because the mix played this mix and whatever. Like, you know what? You couldn't get better than, Tommy K and Charlie Chuck in the morning. That was a great radio program. And Nikki G and Charlie Mack radio show and everything else. And man, there was a couple other ones. And it was the Darks. It wasn't Keela. It was before a lot of these, man. That was like the original Juice family, and like I was a baby sitting by the front window just waiting for like them Tuesdays so I could go back to Springfield and have that the promo CDs and get them little promo tickets. Like, oh my god, I could tell you guys stories. But the Juice gave me more notoriety than what I had in high school. And that was like, being associated with that, with the black affiliation. And I'm looking at this man, and I'm just like, man, this dude, out here trying to do something for the city. And I hope. Let me just be quiet. Let me just continue listening. Come on, let's get back into it. Facts, 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 facts. Mm. Do you hear what this man's saying? He's saying you talking about your limitations and projecting your limitations and speaking for the masses when there's people out here obviously doing it, building electric cars, building electric homes that run on the same electricity as the car, and it's only 10,000. Yes, that is true. It just got put out there. Elon Musk is building $10,000 houses. Like, you can do anything if you put your mind into it. So I'm already think I know where he's going with this. This man decided to build a black directory for Toledo, and it's near completion. If it's not done, it would be on PDF. And like he said and said, he gave the link. He said you can go to info@thehungryman.com. Please take a screenshot. You see that? Info@thehungryman.com and put your information on there, and he will add you to the directory. And if his posts are doing anything like this, then regardless of what the people who are commenting on his post say, people will find that, utilize it, and make good on it because literally everywhere else they look. I was in Cleveland years ago. One of my homegirls, black owned construction company. We got together. We built it for Cleveland Heights, not even Cleveland Heights, like a street. It was Detroit Avenue, and don't quote me on this. We built a black directory, not even a black directory because we don't think in terms of black, because in Toledo and Ohio is more like mixed. So we built a directory with the businesses that encompass that neighborhood, and we did a recording. I went to every business, interviewed them, got hugs, got love. Did the same freaking concept in Orlando years ago. What this man is doing is nothing new, but it's new to people who've been underexposed, have that crab in the barrel mentality, and think shopping in Swainfield is doing something, and going to Franklin Park and pulling up downtown at some establishment with the new J's on, with the car thumping, and looking like whatever value on them is popping. So that's why I said to say, I love Toledo, but I had to surpass and move past that mentality. And what this gentleman, in my opinion, is experiencing, he's experiencing the Toledo mentality. And the Toledo mentality is that we're going to pull each other down. I don't know why it's that way, but it's been that way. And I pray prayerfully that with the future generations and the kids that are coming, that mentality starts to go away, because why spread hate when you can spread love? Do you understand what this gentleman's saying? The difference, see, the thing is, this man's a dreamer and he's a believer. He has a vision. I don't even want to call him a dreamer because I don't see him dreaming. What I see him doing is executing. This gentleman is executing. He's getting things done. He's making good on his promise. He's doing as he said. And yet he's dealing with people, which is part of the ambiance. I have to say, you're going to have to deal with people, and that's why I always say I can never be God. To hear everybody's thoughts all at once would be the most detrimental thing I could do. I got two girls and a wife, and hearing those three people and their individual needs and concerns, depending on what it is, can be a lot. But this man has stepped up to the podium. He's taking the challenge and he's doing what he's said he's going to do. But let's get back into it. I'm going to fast forward some because just time constraint. At 16-minute mark, I feel like a preacher in the pulpit. It can. I don't believe in the explicit, but he's telling the truth. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I want to talk. I want to say something, but like he said there and said, people commented. There's people who get what he's doing, and there's people who are in stark opposition. But this man just said he's been pouring resources out of his pockets. He's allowing himself to be the example. He is manifesting the goodness in which he would like to see in the world. Because you can't wait for someone to be the example when you have the opportunity to be the example. But a lot of times, it's like I had a friend and they was like, I don't want you to protest in the streets. And I was like, I want to protest. I want to be part of it. Well, I don't want you to endanger yourself. And then after so many protests, you start looking and saying, well, dang, these protesters are not effective. No real change has come. Nothing really happens. We got to go back to the drawing board and we got to find something more effective. This live broadcast has given me juice. It's given me fuel. It has excited something inside me where I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me hug you, bro. Like I open arms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's love, man. Like he's changing the culture with just a conversation. These lives do help. Okay. I met someone one time and they told me I base my decisions on people based upon my interaction with them, not your interaction. Now, I can use the information provided with me to walk in there cautiously, or I can just walk in there and allow what happens to happen. And I was like, yo, that's a bold move. There's a lot of shady people out here in the world. And for you to do that, I don't know if I would do it. Now at 40 years old, I'm like, yo, I walk without fear because it's bigger than death. When you don't fear death, things that once used to hinder you and have you perceived with caution, you're no longer affected by it. If you don't um, have those fears um, on you, you can be limitless and you can do whatever you want to do. Like what I'm hearing this man do. He's pouring into the city. He's pouring into his city. He's spending his money. And then people want to be in his inbox saying, don't do this, don't do that. Well, the Bible says, hey, get the debris out your eye before you try to tell someone about the dirt in their eye. Because it takes two to tangle. It takes two to interact to make that thing happen. And what you are sharing might be a cautionary tale, or it might be from your perspective on how your interaction. Because one thing I do know is that people can change and people can grow, and people do grow from their mistakes. So even though it was an unpleasant interaction for you, it might not be the same for them. Dave. So, from my interpretation, what he's talking about is that 1% that dictates to the masses what the baseline is. Saying, okay, based upon my historical data, which we know, think about it, right? You got a cell phone, right? You got to update your operating system all the time. So by the time you get the information is outdated. By the time you write the book is no longer applicable. It's a reference guide. It's a thought, but it's not current any longer because by the time you got done processing the book and writing your how to or how to do this or how to do that, the information you're talking about is irrelevant. But it's like hearing that person and you becoming enabled because of them, because of their position, their respect, their notoriety. This person says, don't drink orange juice. You're like, well, I'm not going to drink orange juice no more because so and so said, don't drink orange juice. But why didn't you make the decision for yourself? Well, why do I need to make the decision for me? Because he already said it and he's cool. You see how many likes he got? You see the woman he's with? Do you see the cars? Do you see his home? Do you see this and that? That means little to nothing. But to the wrong person, it means everything. And can't really knock them for that because that means that that individual probably didn't have a mentor, probably didn't have a father figure, probably didn't have anyone to look up to. So, therefore, for them, they're trying to emulate success by any means possible. So, that would theoretically make a lot of sense to me why they would do that. But knowledge is power. And once you define it for yourself, you stop thinking like that. But that's just my assumption. Let's keep going. You sound like an uncle on the porch. He really is on the porch, though. The four quadrants. Okay, so I like where this is going. So the gentleman, I'm assuming once again, this is Mr. Williams. He shows up with his aunt and another person, and off the dribble, they say, I don't like the oxtails. It doesn't remind me of a Jamaican oxtail. Well, let me ask you this, right? And let me just go ahead and put the screen totally on me for a second. Um, I haven't got to that part because I'm only at the 21 minute mark. My thing is, did you try to read the menu? Did you read the menu? Because you can get oxtails in so many different ways. You can get oxtail with an oxtail gravy. You can get an oxtail naked and smoked. You can get it sauce and barbecue sauce, right? There's many ways to make oxtail. You ordered, and let me just go ahead for kicks and giggles, look this up real quick. So this is Smith and Western, right? So let's go Smith and Western, and Weston. Let's see, Western, Miami, Florida, because I want to know what this oxtail lasagna was about. Because Smith and Weber, okay, so I'm there. Smith and Weber, okay. I'm going to it right now. I'm going to it. So I'm going to go look at the menu. Let's just say it's a dinner menu, right? I like the website, by the way, Smith and Weber's. Let's go ahead and let's look for the oxtail lasagna, right? I want to see what this was about. The braised oxtail lasagna, 12-hour braised oxtail marinade topped with whipped lemon zest, ricotta, and crispy basils served with garlic bread. It has a marinara, right? Call me stupid. What is a marinara, right? You can have a barbecue marinara if you want to, right? But does it say anything about a barbecue marinara? That's what I would like to know. Does it say anything about it? I'm looking at his menu right here in front of me. Let me see. Can I share another window? Let me see. No, I'm not going to replace the screen share. But it says 12-hour braised oxtail marinara topped with whipped lemon zest ricotta. Whipped lemon zest ricotta and barbecue. Those flavors are going to cancel each other out. So you got a whipped lemon zest. I'm not saying it won't work. But if you have a barbecue flavor oxtail, and this is oxtail off the bone, so then smoked it, the oxtail's off the bone, you get an oxtail lasagna, 48 bucks. I kid you not. I'm definitely gonna have to try this out. You telling me this man's gonna bring a braised oxtail lasagna possibly to Toledo? That sounds delicious. It would give me something to do outside of my normals. Geno's, Rudy's, Tony Packle. And I don't really do Vito's like that no more. Vito's was like something years later. All right, so let's get back into this live. I just had to see that, okay? I looked at that. So let's go ahead and take a look. Do you guys understand what a brine is? Okay, let me go ahead and give you the definition of what a brine is. I need to give you what a brine is, okay? It's a brine, and I want you guys to understand exactly what this brine is, okay? So a brine, let's see. What is the meaning of the word brine? Okay, hold on one second. This is Fort Watson calling me. Hello. Hello, this is John Kemp. How can I help you? Hello. This is me. How can I help you? Well, let me call you back. I'm at work, and no, that's something between her. But I'm at work right now, so let me call you. Can I call back in like 20 minutes? All right, thank you. Okay, I'm totally sorry for that. Who these calls, boy? I'm telling you, phone calls while I'm doing my thing. So let me go ahead and tell you what a brine is. Okay, so a brine, a word used for do 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 do. But a brine ain't nothing but like seasoning that you put on your meat and you let it soak, and you let it sit. You sit for a period of time, and depending on what the brine is, it's just like a marinade and everything else. But I want to give you the technical term for it. Soaked or preserved in salty waters, water strongly impregnated with salt. So it is, let me, brine definition that just kind of discombobulated. You got kids, you get phone calls. All right, water saturated or strongly impregnated with common salt, a strong saline solution. I've seen people do brines with all types of different deviations, but like for me, it's like a marinade. I don't really brine. I do kind of like season, but I don't even think of brine in my chicken like that. But okay, let's get back into the live. Oh, you can see that right there. So I went right there. Oh, I didn't know you can see all that. So let's get back to it. You see that oxtail? That's the oxtail I'm talking about. I'm sorry if you're on TikTok, please follow me on Facebook. That's where you're seeing all this stuff at. but that's the braised oxtail lasagna. Okay, so boom. So let's get back to this live. So time out. Let's go ahead and go back to the website. So sounds like my man has multiple locations. So I was just looking at the menu. Menu looks good. Let's go ahead and go back to it. Boom. Let's see gallery, about us, menu, home, reservations. Let's see, write us, visit us. So he has two locations: Coral Springs, Miami. Okay, bow, 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 bow. Okay, good reviews. Okay, I like what I see thus far. So multiple locations, and he has a business partner, and they're looking to do something in Toledo. So he goes to his location to visit. This is my assumption based upon what I'm reading. So peep game. Not only is he about that life, but he doesn't want to prep no one. So he doesn't want no one to do anything and get any special treatment. So he's going to let the people come in that want to do business, that came from Toledo, that he told basically, hey, you should sell your restaurant because you don't know how to do whatever it is you're going to do. That little off topic right there. I want to get to the conclusion. I got things to do, but I'm enjoying this video. What's up, TikTok? Oh, this time I'm watching. I'm talking in real time. What up, Tanel? So you telling me The dude, so this is what I'm getting so far. The dude, Mr. Williams, he goes there. My dude sees him. He goes down to Miami so they could talk business. And what ends up happening is that someone who went with him to meet up to talk business made a review off of eating off of other people's plates. So if that biscuit didn't come to you on your plate, at what point in time did you reach over to touch that biscuit? Because it's a hot biscuit. Hypothetically, how long does a biscuit remain hot for before it starts to harden up? Couple minutes? I don't know. I dare I say 10 minutes, right? You said you wanted Jamaican style oxtails. Well, let's get back and look at this, right? It wasn't Jamaican style oxtails. You go to the menu, you go ahead and look at the dinner, and the dinner says it exactly what the oxtail is. It's let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and be black and white. Braised oxtail marinara topped with whipped lemon zest ricotta and crispy basil served with garlic bread. Nothing about that says Jamaican style oxtails. I am like not getting it, but this is hilarious. So now we're critiquing food and writing reviews. But once again, this is a business opportunity. You're going down there to do business with someone, and you have a guest with you. He doesn't he doesn't stage and prepare the food himself or prepare the food with people in there because he wants to give you an authentic experience, and you are critiquing him based off of what someone else ordered. Thank you so much, Chanel. I do have to work on that stream. But like I said, it's a work in progress, and I'm far from perfect. But every broadcast, I strive to get better. Wow. So let me ask you this. You go to Miami with the potential business partner, and he brings his aunt along, and you're out here dropping horrible reviews, right? Off the grip. Were you offended by Jay Mays? Were you offended by his review of Rubies? Like, what were you? Just remain consistent and everything will fall into place. Thank you so much for that. Facts. So basically, my understanding is simple. My man's got hit with a Toledo move. Someone goes to your restaurant, orders food, don't order food, excuse me, doesn't order food and got nothing to do with the business, orders one drink and complains about every little thing, but doesn't even purchase a meal, but make sure they get up there and leave a review. You ain't putting no skin in the game. But yet this man has spent money in every place. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please, someone let me know. Did this man not spend money in Toledo? That's what I need to know. And just so you guys are aware, if you're on Facebook, please go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm there on TikTok right now doing a live on both platforms. But yeah, go ahead and check me out. The links in the comment section. So this is hilarious. I'm at 26 minutes, and now I'm getting to the meat and potatoes of this. Let's go. So let's go ahead. Let's fact check. I believe him, but let's go ahead. The hungry black man. Let's put it inside here. Hungry black man. The hungry black man. Do. Media company. Do. Let me get off of that. Detroit, South Florida. We got the YouTube. I believe everything he's saying first and foremost. This man's been doing it for a minute. Let's see. In Detroit, over 3,000 votes decided the top 10 black owned, blah, blah, blah. Culinary triumphs. The best cheesecake in Georgia. Behind Keith Lee, healing and celebrating Atlanta's top 10 hitting culinary gems. Miami black taco scene has arrived. Are these Durham best wings? Are these Durham's best wings? Oh, I butchered that. New black owned Philly eatery has amazing cheesesteaks. Let's see reviews. Okay, we got reviews. Do. Do. Partners, Juneteenth Food and Wine Festival, My Black Pantry, Center for Black Innovation, Black Tech Week, lounge reviews, restaurant reviews. Um, Look, I don't see no lie. So it is what it is. Let's go ahead and continue on the journey, y'all. They do. They do. Facts. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, leave a comment. I always comment with my page. He got Moss by a Toledo one. Expose. Facts. Facts. Oh my gosh, he's talking about hey man, he's watching this though. Yeah, that technically talking about referencing two things. Eating pie and food is two different things, brother. So you just sitting at the table. Mm, wow. I respect this. Facts. Facts. So look, I don't want to say anything else. Um, I'm gonna finish watching the rest of this, but I want to make sure I can have the audio connected to it. Um, this was a lot. There's a lot of insight. There's a lot of good information inside this post. And I thank you, the Hungry Black Man, for being honest about your shortcomings and your experiences. Um, much appreciated. Um, we all have room to grow. I want to do a part two because I want to know the motive behind this individual in this review. And like he said, if you don't pay to play, then why are you commenting on something? Don't make sense to me either. But I love what he's doing. About halfway through this video. Um, but listen, I will holler at you guys later on, and we'll keep it moving from there. So thank you guys for watching.